Hey, what's going on, you guys? I have another review for you. And today we are reviewing the Marvel Legends series Build-A-Figure Marvel's Nemesis Wave Marrow from the X-Men. So here's the box. This is the new style packaging. It's the first time I've actually had, I think it's the first time I've dealt with it. But Hasbro's kind of changing to this style packaging anyways. As you saw with like the Star Wars, it's also kind of the same shape. On the side, you got a picture of Marrow. Marrow on the other side. And you got on the back, you see another picture of Marrow. And you got the rest of the figures in the wave. So I am only going to get two other ones when I find them, which is Husk and Cortez down there. I don't need the other ones, although the Gambit is tempting. But then you got a read-up that says, once a member of the Morlocks community of outcast mutants, Marrow has the ability to manipulate bone growth. So there we go. And as you can see, I have kind of this background. It's the same place that I've been recording, but I decided, I might benefit from actually having a background. It's not, all one color, but it at least, works a little better. But here is Marrow. Actually, I can just zoom here. There she is. But we're setting off to the side for a moment because we'll show what she comes with. So first of all, she does come with the left arm to Nemesis. And also an extra hand for said left arm. As you saw, I'm not going to get the whole wave, so I won't complete this Build-A-Figure. But I'm kind of okay with it because I'm not really familiar with the character. And there's always a chance that Nemesis might be made into another, to like its own standalone thing anyways. So let's show some accessories. So she comes out of the package. She comes with, out of the package she comes with two grip hands, and then she comes with one kind of flat, karate chop type hand. But I've seen some really cool poses that you can do, and usually they had that hand on her, and so I might try that out in some photos. And then with one fist, I will say, if you're gonna give me one fist, give me two fists, because I feel like, as a superhero, inevitably. But probably the coolest accessories are these two bone blades. So as the description gave, she can grow bone. She can have excess bone growth, and they so she can make them into blades and a whole bunch of other things. I think they're the exact same. Is one maybe a little bigger, or no? I think they're the exact same. But I do notice that on this side you see like this kind of dark paint that would like represent, bone a little better. But they didn't paint the other side. Okay, well the back side on them are different, so I don't know. I can't tell if they're exactly the same or not. And then you even got a little bone piece at the bottom for the handle there. Now my connection with Marrow, of course I've heard of her beforehand, but I became more aware of her when I got to play the Marvel vs. Capcom collection series that you can have on Nintendo Switch. And any X-Men related character I'm instantly like interested by, and they have her do some pretty crazy things in that game. I mean, she can make like full on like spikes that come out of her back and like attack the opponent that she's facing. And she makes shields and all sorts of things. So I don't know how I don't know what storyline she appears in the comics. Hopefully I do hopefully I do get a chance to read a comic that she's in. But so let's take a look at her. And of course, some people are actually going to mention that she looks a lot like her Marvel vs. Capcom counterpart. My guess is that that's just the comic book look as well. I mean, with a lot of those types of games, you don't always see like a unique design. It's pretty much like we take what the people know and put it in the game, and that's I'm gonna assume that's this, but I'm not sure, so don't quote me. But it's done fairly well. You got the blue and green. You got this little bone piece right under her chest, which I think is a really nice detail. And then on the back, actually, this is where the cool stuff comes in. So you got all these different bone pieces, and some of her spine is sticking out right down the middle. And then down at her knees, she also has, I guess, knee pads, but more literal. Um, so I don't know her whole backstory or anything like that, but to me, she's an X-Men or X-Men related character. So I was very excited when they announced her. So yeah, I will say, so if you have the knees, well, actually, this side actually isn't too bad. But if I lined up on this side, the green, the knees are not, it's kind of facing more inwards than it should. But it's not the biggest deal. But it is just something to note. I don't know if that's all of them or if it's just mine, but not the biggest deal in the world. As you guys know, I'm not too picky unless it's like absolutely like horrible. Like let's say if like the green was all over her like arm, like that would be like something where I'd like, okay, probably wouldn't even buy it then, obviously. So yeah, but let's get into articulation. Her head can look that far up, can look that far down. It's got some pretty good tilt, can look side to side. Arms can go that far up. Got a bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, a wrist swivel, and a hinge that goes in and out. I would have much preferred the at least the grip hands to have had an up and down hinge, considering they are supposed to hold the bone blades. She can crunch only that far forward, but she can arch really far back. And of course, it swivels. And her legs kick out or kick forward that far. Kick back about that much. And can kick out that much. She's got an upper thigh swivel. Double jointed knees. Ow, I pinched my finger. Ankle goes down, goes up, and she's got ankle pivot. Now, a lot of actually all of my X-Men, are currently all posed up. So, or at least the majority of them. So I'll get maybe one or two of them that are, that I don't really have to change their pose a whole lot to get them to stand with her. And I've seen some really cool poses that people have gotten this character into. You know what? I'm gonna make it a little cooler. I'm gonna add. So I guess with the two blades, since as I pointed out, one side has like the darker effect, and the other side doesn't. Is my guess is like one is gonna need to be on one side, and the other is gonna be on the other. So let me just get this behind the camera really quickly, because they're not necessarily hard to get into the hands. It's just like because it is the material is very flexible, which I think is a good thing, so it doesn't snap. But and then her hands are also very much similar to that, so you have to kind of get well, that was a lot easier than what I tried yesterday. So let's see, can I get her to stand? Okay, I think I got her to stand. Okay, so here is Marrow with her two bone blades. I'm going to call them that. I will get whatever comparisons I can out. There's really only two that like are posed in a way that don't really cause issues, and they're both Summers brothers. I do not mean to make that a coincidence. So I got Vulcan right there, and then of course I got Cyclops. Now these two right here, obviously, because the Marvel vs. Capcom games came out in the 90s, you know, these two outfits here, you can definitely, you know, if you are super into those games, you can definitely make like a display if you get the right designs. There is also now those Street Fighter action figures that they're doing now. So if you get those, you know, you could have a really cool display. So yeah, but I'll take those two out. Now I didn't bring it down here with me, but I do actually I did get a comic a comic recently. My most recent comic is I got volume 2 of the new Ultimate Spider-Man series, because I've really been enjoying that. So yeah, you know, it's kind of weird because you know, I'm in a big Marvel mood and I'm also in a big Star Wars mood right now. As you guys know, it is May the 4th, at least as of the time of this recording. So May the 4th be with you. I saw Thunderbolts on opening night. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. But then obviously, you know, Andor Season 2 is currently out. And also today they released Tales of the Underworld for Star Wars. So it's kind of going back and forth right now. But anyways, I do hope you enjoy this review. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you think of the figure, and let me know what you think of the character. How familiar are you with her? My guess is the majority of you probably are familiar with her from the Marvel vs. Capcom games. Is my guess. Side note, I was obviously not around when the original Marvel vs. Capcom games came out. I've just played the collection on Nintendo Switch, and I've known about them. So. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.